Hey, I'm Mark Romanack, and you're watching Fishing 411. On this week's episode, we're going into Northern Ontario, a place called Portage Lodge. We're going to do a fly-in destination. Stick around, the fishing should be great. There's walleye on the menu. Portage Lodge is a family-run operation. In fact, it's one of the oldest fishing camps in all of Ontario. It was developed in the mid-1940s and still very active to this day. When I was visiting with Betty, the owner, she was telling me that about 80 to 85% of their clientele are return clients that have been here multiple years. In fact, in some cases, 3 and 4 generations of families have been bringing their families to Pine Portage Lodge for fishing trips. That says an awful lot about an operation.
Pine Portage was a dream my father had, and he started it when he was 23 years old in 1946, after he came back from serving in World War II as a fighter pilot. And as a child, they used to canoe downriver to this lake and camp on it with his sisters and brothers and my grandparents, who moved into the area in 1919. But I'm the second generation. I'm the oldest of the 6 children that my parents had, and so I've been in the business my whole life. They first brought me here when I was 19 days old.
Now there's a good fish right there. Oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Hey! All right, now that is exactly what we were hoping to see today.
Are you just trying to tell me you're a better fisherman?
I don't know about that.
The bigger ones?
I don't know about that. A little bit of luck going on right now, but I tell you what, that one's too big for a short lunch, right?
Certainly is.
As far as I'm concerned, that one has got to go back in the lake. So we're going to go ahead and put this one back right now. What a beautiful fish. We'll catch you next year.
Another good one. Come on, baby.
That is a good fish.
Come on, no, this way.
Got a little line
I don't
here.
know what kind it is, but he wants to go where he wants to go.
Well, we're going to let him do just what he wants until it's time for him to come in here. I haven't even laid eyes on this thing yet.
Come on.
Oh, that's a good walleye. You got the touch today, Gary. You got the touch. You got the touch. Nicely done. Nicely done. We had 2 guests on the Pine Portage trip. First one, Gary Melvin, was from the Kalamazoo area. Gary actually won a contest that we put on back in the wintertime, and the prize package was an all expenses paid trip to Pine Portage Lodge. Well, part of that package was that Gary could actually pick someone to fish with, and so he picked his lifelong fishing and hunting buddy, whose name is Tim Link. The 2 of these guys together were our hoot up here. We had a lot of fun with them, and I think they had a lot of fun fishing with the Fishing 411 crew.
What are we going to do with him?
Well, I think we're one short of shore lunch, so I think
you put him in there, he'll give you a good
caught the
bite.
last one right there. Well, the way we're fishing today is something that we call back trolling. And if you're from Minnesota, you probably already know what that is. But if you live in another part of the country, you may never have experienced back trolling. And the reason we're doing this is it's really making the boat go slow against the wind, we're jig fishing, allows us to drag our jigs on the bottom. And back trolling is the most efficient way to do that. If I was at home, I probably wouldn't be doing much back trolling. I'd be doing a lot of jigging, but I'd use my electric motor to control. Well, on a fly-in trip like this, we don't have the luxury of an electric motor, so we simply use the gasoline motor to improvise, and it works very well. You can see we haven't been handicapped at all today as far as our ability to catch fish. We've caught lots of fish. So if you haven't tried back trolling, you might want to check it out. It's a unique presentation. You see a lot in Canada, and you see a lot in places like Minnesota. You just don't see it so much in other parts of the world, but it will catch walleyes.
And it's an easy way to fish.
It is easy. There's no doubt about that. We haven't hardly had our butts off the seat all day, have we?
No. Forward mine.
Well, I'd keep my jig in the water if I were you, Gary.
Wow.
'Cause it looks like it's a good little spot right here. So.
Ooh, nice ones too here. Get him.
That one just cost me my minnow. I see him just slid off. You want to do a double scoop there for me? Perfect. Look at that. Now that is very cool.
That's the way
Very
we're
cool.
supposed to do.
Let me give you a little assistance here. So, I'm gonna hook that guy and drop him back there so he can go back and grow up. And look at, he just spit out my minnow. That's good. He's gonna get reused again. We're gonna reuse him. So, perfect walleye in my estimation. You know, one of the things that appeals to me most about this style of fishing is the simplicity of it. A jig and a minnow. It don't get much easier than that, does it?
No, sir.
And it's just fun, it's simple, it's something that anybody can do, and it's just right here up here waiting for you to come and enjoy. So let's put this guy back so someone else can catch it.
Marine Service, a full-service Starcraft and Evinrude dealer. Additional cargo amphibious ATV, extreme terrain vehicle solutions. Additional considerations provided by
You know, if you're looking to go on a fly-in, there's one piece of equipment you really can't leave home without, and that's your electronics. My electronics, like I have sitting here right next to me, is a key piece of equipment when you're out here because it's going to give you depth contours, it's going to show you fish and where they're in relationship to the bottom, and it also has that GPS function. And what that's going to do is when you're out on the water, it's going to give you the satisfaction of knowing that you'll be able to find your way home. There's one thing that you really need with a unit just like this HDS5 that I have sitting next to me, and that's a battery. And a good battery is like this lithium battery that I have right here. The lithium technology lasts much longer, and it's gonna get you a full day's worth of fishing. Like I have here and sitting next to me, this electronics here comes in this cool little pack, and Lawrence makes these little ice packs. They work perfect for flying adventures just like this. All the stuff can go right in this pack, it can go in the suitcase, and when we get up here, you have all the electronics you need to be successful on the water.
Hey, if you're gonna take a fly-in fishing vacation, there's a couple of rods you really have to bring up here. And what I would recommend is starting off with 2 spinning rods as your basic fundamental equipment that you're gonna use. I'd recommend a 7-foot rod, something in a medium light action. And I like to make them balanced, so I would do 2 identical rods. Why do you need 2 identical rods? Well, spinning rods are kind of delicate and it's very easy to break one on a trip, so you're gonna wanna have a spare. Again, a medium light action with a spinning reel with about 10-pound test braid on it is gonna be a good choice. But you're also gonna need a rod for trolling, and that's with my other hand here. I recommend about a 7-foot medium action trigger stick like this for trolling. You're gonna use it for any kind of crankbait trolling you might do, or maybe you do some heavy duty live bait fishing, say with a bottom bouncer and spinner. This is gonna be the best rod for that. So these 3 rods, 2 spinning rods and 1 good trolling rod, is gonna cover you on any flying vacation you go, no matter where you're at, no matter what walleye you're looking for.
Whoa. Come
Gary, I
on,
like
Bo.
watching you fight these fish on that light action rod. That is,
Holy, he's fighting hard.
get a big rod bend there every time.
Well, yeah, but he don't want to come up. Probably a big old pike.
Yeah, no, that's a walleye.
That's a walleye.
Very nice walleye.
Oh, come on. Oh, there he is.
Big Cabby Lake where we were fishing is huge. It's about 25 miles long. So we felt it was best in our interest to get a guide to help us for the first couple of days. We ended up with a gentleman, his name was Pat. He's a local resident from the Wawa, Ontario area. In fact, he's a retired conservation officer, and he's indicative of the guides that you see here at Portage Lodge. All the guides are seasoned veterans, people that are fishermen who've been fishing pretty much their entire life. Well, Pat was a great guy to spend time with. He put us on fish very, very fast, dialed us in quickly, and made our adventure a fast success.
Yeah,
This is a solid fish here. I haven't seen it yet, so it could be a pike, but it is definitely a solid fish. Whoa, baby.
Get that out of the way.
Whoa, baby. Show me yourself. Did you see it? It's gonna be a good one if it's walleye.
Boy, I tell you, he's fighting.
That's a pike. No, he's a pike.
Whoa, nice fight, too.
I'll tell you what though, on these light action rods and walleye rod, that's a lot of fun. That is a lot of
Get
fun.
this out of the way, he'll be in it.
Listen to that old
He's
drag
pretty good
sing.
size, too, isn't he?
So lucky that he bit in the afternoon. If he'd have bit in the morning, he might have been short lunch, but it's his lucky day. He
Wow,
gets
that's
to go
a
back.
dandy.
He gets to go back.
Oh,
That's a nice pike.
So
yes it is.
we'll take it. We'll take it. We're having a lot of fun today.
That's a dandy, because he don't want to move.
That's a good fish right there. Thank you, sir.
Oh, he's a dandy. fighting. He's coming up on this side.
That's the one nice thing about that old rod is you can really control those fish.
Best money I've spent. Good old custom rod.
Well, that's a good fish too.
That's a nice bowl.
That is a very nice fish.
If he comes back to
Oh,
the
he'll
net.
come back. We got him. We own that fish. We own that fish. That is a good one.
I'll take those all day long.
You have taken these all day long.
I know.
Uh-oh.
I'll tell you, there's been just absolutely no shortage of fish here.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, it's been
None.
all right. It has been an absolute riot. And you know the cool thing?
So-
It's just starting. We got a couple more days to slake this to enjoy
yeah.
it. So
We're just starting.
back he goes.
Additional considerations provided by Bait Rigs Tackle and by Fish Hawk Electronics. Considerations provided by the Ultimate Sports Show Tour, Michigan's premier sports shows.
Our Pine Portage trip was something called the American Plan. Now, when you come up to one of these fly-in camps, you have an option. American Plan means that they supply meals for you as well as lodging. You also have the option of doing something called Housekeeping Plan, where you bring your own food up and then they simply provide lodging. Well, the American Plan was exceptional for us, and the reason I liked it is because each day was included a shore lunch. Our guide, Pat, would cook and clean walleye for us 3 days that we were here, and it was an awesome experience. Each day he did a different kind of shore lunch, not just fried fish, but fried fish and broiled fish and even fish chowder. It was a great experience, and it really made our trip.
I've had the great pleasure of guiding for Pine Portage Lodge for the last 3 years. It fell right into my previous job, which I was fortunate to be able to go out and work in the wild of several districts throughout Northern Ontario with the Ministry of Natural Resources. I've been fishing basically for most of my life, and it gives me great pleasure to be able to come out, talk to people, spread some of my fishing knowledge amongst the wide variety of people that I've guided throughout the summer so far.
Well, today is day 2 of this Pine Portage flying adventure. Today I'm fishing with Tim Link. Tim Link is Gary's buddy who won this trip, and we're having a great time today. We're really looking forward to it. The sun's just starting to come up. We're looking forward to a great day of fishing.
Oh, yeah. No, you fought really good at the beginning.
How did that happen? I got a rock and you got a fish.
I don't know. I thought I had
That
the
looks
same
like
rock.
a great fish, man. That's a nice fish.
I'm trying.
There we go.
There, look at that. We got him in the boat.
Man, that is another gorgeous fish. I can't get over the color of these fish here. You know, in Michigan, we have a lot lighter color walleyes because of this water that's a little bit darker here in Canada. These fish are gorgeous.
He's a beauty.
That one's going on the stringer too, though, huh?
Yes.
We gotta have shore lunch. Gotta feed the machine. So just like yesterday, we're back trolling for walleyes with lead head jigs, and it's been really effective so far this morning. But the one piece of equipment I'm using that's really helpful is using no stretch braid. What no stretch braid is it's a braided line that doesn't have any stretch on it. This is maximum a 10-pound test, and I actually have a high vis line on here. Now the reason I have high vis line is sometimes I can actually see the line twitch and be able to see that fish bite. Other times I'm feeling that bite, and that's why no stretch is so important. With monofilament, there's a lot of stretch in the line, and a lot of times you'll have fish bite and you won't even feel that fish. So no stretch braid is super important when back trolling for walleyes. You got one too?
I believe I do.
Nice. This is a nice fish here.
Mine's not so nice, but he's a fish. Oh, mine just got lively.
Can we do 2 scoops at once?
Sure.
Whoa, one's off.
Catch and release.
We got one though.
Catch and release.
That's a great way to start off the morning. Those are beautiful eating size fish. We're gonna have shore lunch later this afternoon, so we're gonna keep a couple of these fish. Man, that's a lot of fun. I'll talk a little bit more about what we're doing in the presentation, what we're doing in a little bit, but man, that is a great fish. In combination with braid, I also have a fluorocarbon leader. Now the fluorocarbon leader does two things. It's a clear leader, that way the fish doesn't see your line, but more importantly, if you were to get snagged up and you tied straight braid to your jig, it's very hard to break that. This fluorocarbon leader is made to break, so if I get hooked up onto a rock, I can pull on it and get that jig to break off, then I can retie. Now there's a special kind of knot that I use for tying this braid to fluorocarbon, and it's called a double uni knot. If you go on linetying.com, you can go on and you can see how to tie this double uni knot. I practice it in my living room at my house over and over and over again until I got it. I use this knot for everything. It doesn't seem like a day goes by that I'm not tying this double uni knot. It's a very effective, very strong knot for tying braid to fluorocarbon. That's awesome. They don't get much better for eating size than these guys here. What a gorgeous fish.
To me, one of the things that sets Pine Portage aside is the boats that we get a chance to fish out of. Most fly-in camps have very small boats, usually 14-footers, and they usually have a 9.9 on them as far as for an outboard. The boats at Pine Portage are much larger. They're 16-foot boats. They have flat floors on them, so they're comfortable to move around in. And also they have bigger outboards. They have between a 20 and a 30 horsepower outboard, so you can cover a lot of water quickly. Big Cabby Lake is a big lake, and those little larger outboards and larger boats were really a pleasure to fish out of.
Additional considerations provided by Mustang Survival and by Motor Guide Electric Motors. Additional considerations provided by Eagle Marine Service and by Ontario's Algoma Country. That real.
You know, one of the things I like about these fly-in trips in Ontario is they're very good fishing. When a person comes up here, they can expect to catch lots of fish. But even more importantly, the style of fishing that we're doing, primarily jig fishing, dragging jigs and casting jigs, is very simple and very easy for most people to master. You know, a person can come up here without a lot of fishing experience and expect to catch a whole bunch of walleyes, and I think that's exactly what you're going to see in this show.
Perfect.
Back he goes. I love it.
There we go. Man, what another nice fish. I think we're probably getting pretty close to shore lunch this morning, but we need one more for shore lunch?
One more for shore lunch.
Alrighty. Man, what a great fish. You know, the really cool thing about dragging jigs and back trolling is you cover a lot of water. And like we came off the end of this point here, and we found a little group of fish, and it's just off this edge of the rock, and now we can literally sit right here and catch these fish, and it's pretty much been one after another since we found this little group of fish here. It's a little bit better fish too. Oh, there we go. Man, what another gorgeous fish. This is a lot of fun. What a pretty fish. Can't get over how gold pretty they are, man. It's a lot of fun. I think this is the very last one we're gonna keep for shore lunch today, and then maybe we'll just catch a few more, and then in a couple hours we're gonna go eat these bad boys.
There's one. Ain't it that nice? Well, he feels really good. Well, he's just gonna be another great eater. I think this is the last one for the net. There you go.
Nice. Nice fish.
All right.
Man, he ate it pretty good too, didn't he?
Yeah.
This little first spot we've been to this morning's been pretty good.
Hope the rest of the afternoon will be this good.
Exactly.
I basically followed in my father's footsteps before me as far as the conservation of the resources and the natural resource environment around us. And we continue to work with the Ministry of Natural Resources, forest companies, and the likes to ensure that the sustainability of this lake and the perception of wilderness is maintained. We took it upon ourselves years before the MNR started slot sizing in Ontario, and we did our own creel census and fisheries management planning for the lake probably 10 years before MNR did, and today the efforts are seen in the fisheries that we have because we've always ensured that the long term is here. You don't stay one place for 69 years without ensuring the fish and wildlife are maintained.
Well, he bit pretty hard, and sometimes that can be a bad sign.
Big
It
pike.
could be very well, it could be a pike, and but I don't
it
mind.
looks like he's doing
But on
pretty
the other
good.
hand, it could be a 25-inch walleye too, so let's be optimistic at this point. It looks like it's going to be a walleye.
Looks
Let's
like
see. No, I'm wrong. It's a pike, but it sure was fun.
nice pike, huh?
Yeah,
That's the kind that's fun to catch.
they're athletic. I enjoy pike, so I definitely enjoy them. on a good walleye. You got the touch today, Gary. You got the touch. You got the touch. The walleye, because he's not pulling anywhere near as hard as the last one. That's probably a dead giveaway.
Well, he's just gonna be another great eater. I think this is the last one for the net. There you go. This is what you catch when you fly in. This is the kind of fish you catch. You get really spoiled when you catch one after another. It just seems like you just get tired of casting and catching fish.
If you're interested in going to Pine Portage Lodge, check the credits in the show and you'll see specific information on how to find these folks. Or if you prefer, you can go to fishing411.net. That's our webpage. And on that particular site, we have a tab on our webpage that shows all of our preferred outfitters. You're going to find Pine Portage Lodge in that listing. This is a great place to bring a family, bring a friend, bring anyone that you want to show a great time walleye fishing.
What another awesome fish, Tim. Man, this place is pretty special. You really owe it to yourself to come up here and try fishing at Pine Portage Lodge. Make sure you check the show out next week, same time, same place. We'll get this fish right back.
Closed captioning is provided by Fish Hawk Electronics. Fishing 411 is brought to you by Offshore Tackle, your leaders in trolling technology. Yakima Bait, home of the rooster tail. Maxima Fishing Lines, the best line every time. Evinrude Outboards, introducing the E-Tech G2. Starcraft Marine, America's oldest aluminum fishing boat line. Jay's Sporting Goods, trust in the tradition. Cisco Fishing Systems, fish the finest. Smooth moves, smooth your ride.
You're just trying to tell me you're a better fisherman.
I don't know about
you
that.
The bigger ones?
I don't know about that. A little bit of luck going on right now, but I tell you what, that one's too
That's
big
a
for a short
dandy.
one, right?
Certainly is.
As far as I'm concerned, that one has got to go back in the lake. So we're going to go ahead and put this one back.